In the rugged Wild West of the 1800s, there lived a widow named Clara. With her sun-kissed skin and strong hands, she spent her days tending to her small farm nestled at the base of the towering mountains. Clara had lost her husband to the unforgiving life of the frontier, and now, she faced each day alone. Her only companion was a loyal German shepherd named Rex, a brave and protective friend who stayed by her side through thick and thin. Clara found comfort in Rex's playful spirit, and together they roamed the fields, exploring the vastness of the land. She often spoke to him as if he could understand her every thought. "You know, Rex," she would say with a smile, "this life can feel lonely sometimes, but I have you." Rex would wag his tail, as if to reassure her that they were never truly alone. Despite her strength, Clara longed for something more in her life. The mountains loomed large and mysterious in the distance, whispering secrets she could only imagine. Each sunset painted the sky with shades of orange and pink, and Clara would sit on her porch, dreaming of adventures beyond the horizon. One day, while hiking along the rugged trails with Rex, Clara stumbled upon something unexpected. There, hidden from view, was a narrow crack in the mountainside. Intrigued and filled with a sense of adventure, Clara felt a spark of excitement for the first time in years. "What do you think it is, Rex?" she asked with wide eyes. Rex barked eagerly, ready for whatever lay ahead. With hearts full of curiosity, they prepared to explore this mysterious opening together. Each day on her farm began before dawn, with Clara rising to the soft sounds of nature. She would stretch her arms towards the sky, feeling the cool morning air against her skin. With Rex beside her, she milled about the homestead, tending to the chickens and gathering eggs. The chores were tough, but Clara took pride in her work. She was determined to make a life for herself despite the hardships that came with being a widow in the Wild West. As she plowed the fields or planted seeds, Clara's thoughts often wandered. Memories of laughter shared with her late husband flashed through her mind. Yet, she also felt a fierce independence growing within her. "I can do this," she would whisper to herself as she wiped sweat from her brow. Each task completed was a testament to her strength. Afternoons were spent repairing fences or carrying water from the well, while Rex patrolled nearby, ever watchful and loyal. Sometimes, Clara would pause to admire the sweeping views of the mountains surrounding her farm. They were breathtaking yet intimidating, reminding her of both beauty and isolation. While she found solace in daily tasks, there was a yearning deep inside Clara's heart for connection and adventure beyond her small world. As she sat on her porch during twilight, watching fireflies dance in the fading light, she couldn't help but dream of far-off places and new experiences. "There must be more out there," she murmured softly to Rex, who rested his head on her lap as if understanding her longing. It was this desire for something greater that pushed Clara toward the mysterious crack in the mountains, a chance for discovery that could change everything. One sunny afternoon, after finishing her chores, Clara decided to take Rex for a longer walk through the foothills. As they wandered, the two of them ventured farther from their usual paths, eager to see what lay beyond the familiar trees and rocks. Clara felt a lightness in her heart, as though adventure was calling them. The sun hung high in the blue sky when Rex suddenly stopped, his ears perked and alert. Clara followed his gaze and saw something strange, a long, narrow crack in the mountainside that she had never noticed before. It seemed to shimmer in the sunlight, almost inviting them closer. "What do you think it is, Rex?" she asked with wonder in her voice. With a cautious step forward, Clara approached the crack, crouching down to peer inside. The shadows within suggested an intriguing world hidden from view. Excitement bubbled up inside her. "This could be something special," she exclaimed. Rex sniffed the ground, tail wagging with anticipation. He felt Clara's energy and nudged her hand as if urging her to go on. With a deep breath and nothing but curiosity guiding her, Clara took hold of Rex's collar. "Let's see what lies beyond," she said determinedly. Together, they crawled carefully into the crack, feeling the cool air rush past them as they entered the unknown. The darkness enveloped them momentarily before they found themselves emerging into a world filled with color and life, a sight that would change everything. Clara's heart raced with exhilaration at what lay ahead, and she couldn't help but smile at this unexpected turn in their journey. As Clara and Rex stood at the edge of the crack, a mix of fear and excitement surged through her. The sunlight illuminated the entrance, casting intriguing shadows that danced along the rocky walls. "What do you think we'll find in there?" she asked Rex, who tilted his head as if pondering the question. His ears perked up, and his tail wagged, urging her forward. Clara took a deep breath, her heart racing with anticipation. It could be just a dark tunnel, she thought, but the flicker of hope in her chest told her otherwise. Or it might lead to something wonderful. She imagined lush gardens filled with flowers, sparkling streams, or hidden treasures waiting to be discovered. The idea of a secret world sparked her imagination and chased away any lingering doubts. With her mind made up, she knelt down and peered into the darkness. It felt cool and inviting, as if it was calling her name. "Come on, Rex. Let's explore," she declared, a smile spreading across her face. Rex barked happily, sharing in her enthusiasm as they both prepared for this unexpected adventure. Clara crawled into the crack, feeling the rough stones beneath her hands. Rex followed closely beside her, his warm presence reassuring in the unknown. The air was filled with an electric sense of possibility, buzzing with excitement for what lay ahead. As they ventured deeper into the passageway, Clara couldn't help but marvel at how a single moment could change everything. Each inch they moved brought them closer to a discovery that could bring joy back into her life, something she had yearned for far too long. Together, they stepped into the unknown, ready to uncover whatever awaited them on the other side. Clara and Rex crawled into the crack, the cool air wrapping around them like a gentle embrace. As they moved deeper into the dark passage, Clara felt a tingle of excitement mixed with uncertainty. The walls were rough against her hands, and she could hear the soft scrape of Rex's paws behind her, filling the silence with a comforting presence. "Stay close, Rex," she whispered, thinking about the unknown dangers that might lie ahead. The light from outside gradually faded, replaced by an eerie stillness that made her heart race. Yet within that quiet was a sense of wonder. "What if we find something amazing?" she thought, pushing herself forward with renewed determination. The narrowness of the crack made it necessary for them to move carefully. Clara felt each heartbeat echo in her chest as they crawled side by side, exploring this hidden world. She imagined all sorts of treasures waiting to be discovered, perhaps sparkling gems or ancient artifacts. Each inch brought new possibilities, and Clara's imagination soared with excitement. Suddenly, they reached a wider area where the darkness began to lift. Clara paused, catching her breath as a hint of brightness peeked through. "Rex, I think we're almost there," she exclaimed, her voice filled with hope. Rex sniffed the air, his enthusiasm contagious as he nudged her forward with a gentle push. With one final push, they emerged from the darkness and into a scene so vibrant it took Clara's breath away. The crack had opened into a sprawling garden filled with colors and scents she had never imagined. Uncertainty faded away as joy and wonder filled her heart. This adventure was just beginning, and she was ready for whatever came next. As Clara and Rex stepped into the garden, their eyes widened in awe. The scene before them was nothing short of magical. Vibrant flowers danced in the gentle breeze, painting the landscape with every color imaginable. Deep purples, bright yellows, fiery reds, and soft pinks all swirled together like a painter's palette. Clara could hardly believe what she was seeing. It was a breathtaking sight that felt like a dream. "Rex, look at all these flowers!" Clara exclaimed, her voice filled with wonder. She knelt down to touch a nearby bloom, its petals soft and velvety beneath her fingers. The fragrance was sweet and intoxicating, filling her senses with joy. Each flower seemed to tell its own story, whispering secrets of beauty and life. Rex bounded ahead, sniffing curiously at the colorful blossoms. He barked happily as he chased after butterflies flitting from flower to flower. Clara laughed at his playful spirit, feeling a sense of freedom wash over her for the first time in years. This place was alive with magic, and she could hardly contain her excitement. As they ventured further into the sprawling garden, Clara noticed fruit trees laden with ripe apples and oranges. Grapevines hung heavy with juicy clusters that sparkled in the sunlight. "Can you believe this, Rex? We've found a hidden paradise," she said joyfully. Clara felt a deep sense of gratitude swell within her heart. This beautiful garden was not just a discovery, it was a reminder that life still held wonders waiting to be explored. Together with Rex by her side, she realized that this adventure was just the beginning of many more to come in their newfound oasis of color and life. As Clara and Rex wandered deeper into the garden, they soon found themselves surrounded by lush fruit trees that seemed to stretch toward the sky. The sight was breathtaking. Apple trees stood proudly, their branches heavy with bright red and green apples that glistened in the sunlight. Clara couldn't resist reaching up to pluck one from a low-hanging branch, marveling at its shiny skin. "Look at this, Rex!" "It's perfect," she exclaimed, taking a bite that burst with sweetness. Nearby, orange trees were laden with golden fruit, their vibrant color contrasting beautifully against the deep green leaves. Clara laughed as she watched Rex sniff around the base of the trees, his tail wagging with excitement. "Imagine all the juice we could make," she said, her mind racing with ideas for delicious treats. As they continued exploring, Clara noticed grapevines cascading down from a trellis. The plump grapes sparkled like little jewels in the afternoon sun. She reached out to gently squeeze one between her fingers before popping it into her mouth. The taste was refreshing and sweet, a delightful surprise that made her smile even wider. "Rex, this place is incredible," Clara declared, spinning around to take it all in. The abundance of fruit surrounded them like a treasure trove waiting to be discovered. She felt a sense of joy and freedom swell within her as she realized that this hidden paradise was not just beautiful but also bountiful. Clara's heart swelled with gratitude as she picked more fruits to share with Rex. Each bite was not only delicious but also a reminder of the wonders life still had to offer. In this moment, she felt truly alive, embracing the adventure and abundance that lay before them in this magical garden. As Clara stood in the heart of the garden, surrounded by bright flowers and flourishing fruit trees, a wave of emotions washed over her. Overwhelmed by the beauty and abundance around her, she realized that this magical place was more than just a hidden paradise, it represented the hope and joy that had been missing from her life for so long. The weight of solitude she had carried with her felt lighter here, as if the vibrant colors and sweet scents were whispering stories of new beginnings. In this enchanting haven, Clara felt a spark reignite within her. She remembered the laughter shared with her husband, the adventures they had dreamed of together before life took a different turn. "I thought those days were gone forever," she murmured to Rex, who stood beside her, his warm presence a steady comfort. The joy bubbling inside her was a reminder that life still held surprises, even after loss. Clara wandered through the lush trees, picking apples and oranges while reveling in their sweetness. Each fruit she tasted filled her heart with warmth and gratitude. They were not just food but symbols of a future filled with possibilities. She could almost envision herself hosting gatherings with friends, sharing stories while enjoying homemade preserves made from this very garden's bounty. With each step deeper into this vibrant oasis, Clara felt the heavy layers of her loneliness peel away. Hope blossomed like the flowers around her, pulling her into a world where joy could flourish once again. In that moment, she understood that this garden was not merely an escape, it was a chance to embrace life anew, an adventure waiting to unfold before her and Rex as they stepped forward together into brighter tomorrows. With a renewed sense of purpose, Clara began to interact with the garden in earnest. She moved from tree to tree, her hands gently brushing against the leaves as she admired the fruits hanging like jewels. The vibrant apples caught her eye first, their red and green forms glistening in the sunlight. Clara reached up and plucked a few, feeling their coolness against her skin. "These will make a delicious pie," she thought, envisioning a warm dessert shared with Rex. Rex watched eagerly at her feet, his tail wagging as he sniffed the ground around the fallen fruit. Clara chuckled and held out an apple for him. "Here you go, boy," she said, watching as he took it gently from her hand and munched on it happily. Seeing Rex enjoy the fruits of this magical place filled her heart with joy and laughter. Next, Clara wandered over to the orange trees, their bright globes glowing like little suns amid the greenery. She carefully picked several, their sweet scent making her mouth water. "I'll make us some fresh juice," she mused, feeling inspired by the abundance around her. As she continued to gather fruits, Clara noticed how each one felt more than just nourishment, they were symbols of a new beginning. The act of picking and collecting filled her with a sense of accomplishment that had been absent for so long. she realized that this garden could be a source of sustenance not only for her body but also for her spirit. With baskets full of ripe fruit and a heart brimming with hope, Clara looked around at the vibrant garden once more. The worries of her past faded away as she embraced this new chapter in her life, one filled with purpose, joy, and endless possibilities alongside Rex by her side. As Clara continued to explore the enchanting garden, she and Rex found themselves in a playful rhythm. After filling her basket with ripe fruit, Clara decided it was time for some fun. She tossed an apple a short distance away, watching as Rex dashed after it, his ears flopping joyfully with each bounding leap. "Go get it, Rex," she cheered, laughter bubbling from her lips. Rex returned with the apple triumphantly held in his mouth, wagging his tail as he dropped it at her feet. Clara reached down and scratched him behind the ears. "What a good boy you are. You deserve a treat after that." She picked the apple up again and offered it to him, sharing in the joy of this simple game. They moved deeper into the garden, where colorful butterflies fluttered about. Clara watched as Rex chased after them with curious excitement, his playful nature shining through. "Careful now! Don't scare them all away," she called out, giggling as Rex paused to sniff at a particularly bright one that landed near him. Next, Clara spotted a patch of soft grass beneath a large tree. "Let's take a break," she said, settling down and inviting Rex to join her. He flopped down beside her with a happy sigh, resting his head on her lap. As they relaxed together under the dappled sunlight filtering through the leaves, Clara felt a warmth in her heart like never before. "Rex, I think this place is perfect for us," she mused. They exchanged glances, both savoring the happiness of their shared adventure. It was moments like these that reminded Clara of the bond they shared, her loyal dog always by her side in this magical world where laughter and love blossomed anew. Together, they embraced the joy of exploration, knowing this was just the beginning of many more playful days ahead. As the sun began to set, casting a golden glow over the garden, Clara took a moment to breathe in the beauty surrounding her. She looked at Rex, who was happily sniffing at some nearby flowers, and felt a deep sense of contentment. This hidden paradise was not just a place of wonder, it had become a sanctuary for her spirit, a refuge from the solitude she had known for so long. "I can't wait to come back here," she said softly, her heart swelling with excitement. "This garden will be our secret escape, Rex." She imagined returning often, bringing baskets to gather fruit and spending days playing and exploring. The thought filled her with joy, as if she had rediscovered a piece of herself that had been lost. Clara envisioned how this magical place would change her life moving forward. She could see herself hosting picnics under the shade of the trees, inviting neighbors and friends to share in the bounty. There would be laughter, stories shared, and a sense of community she had missed. The garden wasn't just a getaway, it held the promise of new connections and cherished moments. As they started to make their way back toward the crack that led home, Clara felt hopeful about the future. "We'll return soon, my dear friend," she promised Rex, who looked up at her with trusting eyes. Together, they stepped back through the narrow passage with hearts full of new possibilities. With each step, Clara understood that this adventure had awakened something inside her, a desire to embrace life fully, to seek joy in each day. The garden would always be a part of her story, a reminder that magic exists in the world if one is willing to seek it out. And as they emerged into the fading light of day, Clara knew that this was only the beginning of many more adventures yet to come.